What's going on, guys? So let's have a chat. As every YouTuber knows, if you watch YouTube, if you're on YouTube, if you do anything with YouTube, you know, probably, well, you probably know, I guess I can't assume everybody knows, Charles Green, the Anger Grandpa, passed away last week. And my husband's listening to me. He's up there. And it made me think. It made me think, you know? It's like... One second. Are you listening to me? Okay, he ain't listening to me. Anyways, so it made me think that, you know, things can change. And, you know, I'm skeptical in the whole, like, I don't know. I mean, I believe in the afterlife. I do. I believe in the afterlife because I believe that my father passed away in 2015 in July. And I believe that my father's here. The car, the lights, the noises, just everything. Like, I believe that my father's still here. Just the other day in the house, I live in a little apartment with my husband. And my mother, we live on the property of my mother. My mother lives in the house. Now, when you walk in the front door, there's a little corner cabinet, and then we have our Christmas tree right there, all set up for Christmas. Okay? And there's like a good, 3 feet in between the top of the corner cabinet and the bottom of the Christmas tree. Okay? And the other day, my pants stuck, sorry. The other day, my husband and I were gone. And we were coming home, we came home, and I went in the house with my mom, and my mom told me about something that had happened while we were gone. And she said it was really weird because there was nobody in the house but her. It was me and my husband had our daughter. Like, the three of us were gone. So it wasn't my daughter, who likes to get into everything. She's 5. She just turned 5 last week. She turned 5 last Thursday. So, yay! 5-year-old. Anyways, so it wasn't her because she was with us. So basically what happened was my father was a veteran. Okay? He served in the military from I think it was 1968 to 1972, I think. I mean, okay, I need to take that off, that's ridiculous. Don't quote me on that, because I don't know for sure. One second, guys. I don't know for sure. But anyways, he served in the military, and quite a few years ago, I remember we called the VA, and he asked for a flag. And they said, you have to call the building in D.C. So we called the building in D.C. Well, they sent us a flag that flew over the Capitol building. And it was really cool, and it had Dad's name. Like, they sent him a certified letter, and it was really cool. And they sent it in this, triangular, this, weird, big, flag box, you know what I mean? Just the regular flag boxes. Well, when my father passed away, we put the flag box and my dad's box, because we don't have an urn for my dad right now. I'm still working on getting an urn for my dad. Yeah, it's been 2 years and he's still in a box. Yay me. The box of him, my dad's remains, and the flag box sat on the top shelf of that corner cabinet with a couple of little crystals and a knife that I got him years ago, and it's his little, in memory of kind of thing. And she said she heard a crash. And I was like, oh my God, what broke? My heart stopped. I was like, oh my God, what broke? And she was like, nothing broke, but it was the weirdest thing. The flag box fell. And I'm like, okay, the flag box fell. It could happen if it fell straight down. It could happen. It was on the top shelf. And she said, no, but it didn't fall straight down. It fell, and it looked like someone had taken it off the shelf and placed it directly under the Christmas tree in the middle. So it fell diagonally, landed straight, like someone had placed it there. And I'm like, what? thirsty. My throat, I'm not feeling too good today, so my throat is kind of bothering me, so sorry about that. So, things like that make me believe in the afterlife, because it makes me believe that my dad did that. It makes me believe that my dad did something and said, okay, pay attention, because I'm still here, you know what I mean? And today, nothing big even today. Last week my mom went in for a mammogram. She's a little older. She's 65 now, and they wanted her to go in for a yearly mammogram, and I take her to all her doctor's appointments, so I know everything. And I went with her, and apparently they found an abnormality in one of her breasts, and so they had to take additional views of her breast. And we went in today for that. And they didn't know if it would come out to be cancer. They didn't know if it was benign. They had no idea what it was. So 3 mammograms and 2 ultrasounds later, they could not get a good view on this thing. I don't know. I had the hiccups. Excuse me. They could not get a good view on this. So 3 mammograms, 2 ultrasounds later, they finally got a view on it. Come to find out, they still don't know what it is, but it's not cancerous. So it's benign. So it is whatever, you know what I mean? And then we went shopping. And, we struggle a little bit, and some lady blessed us today. We were at the grocery store, and I need that light. We were at the grocery store by, I am so sorry. I've been up since 4:30 this morning with internet problems. I'm trying to fix the internet early this morning, so I'm exhausted. We were at the grocery store, and we were buying stuff for, buying some more hamburger meat, and just different stuff. That way we had, a couple of little things. And it was like 20 bucks worth of food, maybe. And, we were getting ready to go up and get in line and pay for it. We were good. And this lady walked up to us and said, I was told you would need this. And handed us a gift card. And it was a gift card to Aldi's for $20. And I was like, what? That restores my faith in the human race, because there are good people like that out there that still like to, pay it forward. I pay it forward. Anytime I get the chance, I pay it forward. So, it's little things like that just make me think that my dad's just looking down and is like, I got you. I'm not there, but I got you. So, in his little things, and, I was talking to my husband yesterday, and I try really hard not to cry over my father. Okay, I try really hard not to get emotional, not to cry, because, when he died, I cried for weeks. I cried, and I try really hard now to be strong. So I feel like I can't let anything out. I feel like I should be the strong one, and I should be... What is all over my shirt? I have, I don't even know what's all over my shirt. I have to wash my shirt tomorrow. No. Anyways, so I feel like I have to be the strong one, and I have to be, tough, and I can't really let my emotions out. And apparently, that makes everyone else feel like I have this rough exterior, which I do. I mean, I'm not gonna deny it. Well, anyways, yesterday I was talking up to my husband about my dad, and I'm like, I remember stories. I remember stories he told me, from him working on the antenna of the Empire State Building, to working on the Twin Towers, to falling 4 stories before his, the suspension thing. He was hooked onto a suspension thing, caught, and he finally, it stopped him. Getting shot at in New York, hiding in bushes at the apartment complex in Connecticut, and pulling a gun on somebody, and the cops are like, Frank, just knock it off. I remember all those stories because I was blessed enough to have him in my life for a lot of years. And I was blessed enough to hear all of those stories. But he's been gone 2 years, July, August, September, October, November, December. He's been gone almost 2.5 years. January 5th will be 2.5 years. And I'm having a hard time remembering his voice and what it sounded like. And that kills me. And I don't have videos upon videos to go back on and look at, because he didn't like to be videotaped. Towards the end of his life, he was very sick and very fragile, and he didn't want to be videotaped. So, I don't have those things to look back on. I have a couple of pictures of us together, but that's it. And so, I don't have a whole lot. But, I do have a couple of videos from a few years ago that just have, like, his laugh on it. That's stupid. I don't remember how he did it, but it was really stupid. He was playing with one of, my friend's daughters that I was babysitting at the time. I was, like, fresh out of high school. I was babysitting her one day, and, he was playing with her. And so, it's little stuff like that, I don't have. But I have stories. And I have memories. Like, I got my license when I was 18. My father and my mother refused to let me get my license before I turned 18. They said, no teenager is ready to drive. And at the time, I was pissed. As any teenager would be. Any 16-year-old is like, I'm ready. Let me drive. Let's go. Let me do this. My parents, nope. Not happening. So at 18, I told them I was going to get my license, and my father fought me on it. And he was like, you're not ready to get your license. And I said, I'm 18. You can't stop me. Like, I'm legally an adult now. You cannot stop me from getting my license. I'm getting my license. So eventually he calmed down, and I got my license at 18. And, not 3 months. Oh my god, guys. 3 months after I got my license, I got my first speeding ticket, and it was a doozy. My speeding ticket was like $478 or something like that. It was somewhere in that range. It was expensive. Ooh. One second. Sorry about that. I thought I heard it's the cat. It was really annoying. Anyways, it's the cat going upstairs with my husband. Anyways, so, 3 months after I got my license, get a speeding ticket. Go figure. And I didn't tell my dad about it. I told my mom about it because, they were going to figure it out. Anyways, one of them was because the insurance, I was on their insurance at the time, so their insurance was going to go. And it did. Boy, let me tell you, it did. Well, I told my mom about it. And my mom and I agreed not to tell my dad. And I got that in 2011. I got my speeding ticket. In 2015, right before he died, like June, I think, I got a letter from the state, or from the DMV, or whoever sends those letters out, stating that my record was clean. Well, not clean, but that accident, or that ticket had been taken off. I had an accident on my record still at the time. But that ticket had been taken off my record. And when I opened it in front of my dad. And he was real, this was towards, he died in July. He died a month later, so it was, towards the really bad part of his life. And when I opened it, I was reading it, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I put it away. And he was like, what's that? And I'm like, nothing. And he goes, no, don't lie to me, Holly Marie, what is it? And I'm like, nothing. Then he was, God damn it, tell me what it is. So I was like, oh, okay. Alright, you want to know so bad? Here you go. I gave him the letter. And, I feel like I'm about to start crying. Oh, man. Okay. He read the letter. And he was like, what the fuck, Holly? What did you do? And I'm like, that's my speeding ticket for my speeding ticket. When the hell did you get a speeding ticket? And I was like, 2011? I thought he was going to die on the spot. Like, I thought he was going to have a heart attack. He was like, what do you mean 2011? You got a speeding ticket in 2000? Bobby! Like, he's screaming for my mom and shit. And it's like, what the hell, dude? And, you know, it blew over eventually. Like, it blew over eventually. You know, a couple days he was pissed off at me, but it blew over. And the day I got into my Cavalier accident, I will never, ever, 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 ever forget that day. I pull out of the gas station. I have my friend Jennifer in the car next to me. I pull out of the gas station. Boom! Get hit. Our car spins. My car spins. Like, it spun once. And it stopped. And I heard this, like, sound. So we, like, jetted out of the car. Like, we were done. Out. And, you know, we were sore and we were hurt, but we weren't, it wasn't like ambulance needed ready. So we were chilling there and I called my mom and I'm like, Mom. And she's like, aren't you supposed to be in school? Because I was in college at the time. Aren't you supposed to be in school? And I was like, yeah, I am supposed to be in school like 20 minutes ago. And she's like, what's going on? I'm like, I just totaled my car. And she was like, what? I was like, I think I just totaled my car. I hadn't seen my car yet. I walked inside, like, the EMT and the cops and the firefighters, they made us take all our stuff inside, and we were inside the building waiting on our parents. Well, my parents came and picked up both of us and took us both to the hospital. And I was like, I think I just totaled my car. Like, I just got into a car accident. Are you okay? Well, I mean, I'm hurting, but I'm okay. Is Jennifer okay? Yeah, we have to go to the hospital, but they said we can wait for parents to take us. We don't have to go in the ambulance. And she was like, alright, well, I'm on my way. And I was like, Mom. And she's like, what, Holly? I was like, please, please don't tell Dad. And she was like, how am I supposed to hide it? And I'm like, I don't know. But please, I begged her on the phone. Oh my God, guys. I begged her. I would have gotten down on my hands and knees and begged her not to tell my father. And we hung up. And we're sitting there. And there's a bunch of glass windows where the front door, like there's the front door, and there's a bunch of windows, and the seating area is right here by the windows. So they got us something to drink, and they gave us something to eat, or somebody bought us something, I don't know. And we were sitting there waiting, and I was looking down at my phone, and my friend Jennifer was like, Holly, look up. And I'm like, what? And she's like, Holly, look up. And I look up, and as soon as I look up, who do I see walking by the window? My fucking father. I was like, oh. Yeah. My father. So, I looked at Jennifer and I was like, I'm done for her. Like, it was nice knowing you. I'm done for her. He walked in, he looked at the lady at the front counter, asked where we were, where the accident girls were. That's what he said. Do you know where the accident girls are? And she pointed over towards us, and my dad walked over, looked at Jennifer, said, you okay, kiddo? And she goes, yeah, I'm alright. I'm just, you know, I'm hurting. My face hurts because she got airbag. She got hit in the face with an airbag, and she had a weird look on her face, but she's alright. You okay, kiddo? And she said, yeah, I'm hurting, but I'm okay. And he looked at me, and I was just like, I looked at Jennifer, and I'm just like, looking at her, and I shook my head, and he looked at me, and he does this number. Are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm hurting, I'm sore, but I'm okay. I'm not dead. And he goes, why'd you try to get your mom to lie to me? And I said, because I knew you were going to kill me. Like, I haven't seen my car, but I'm pretty sure it's totaled. Like, that's a pretty hard hit. It looked like she hit me head on. And, so, I was like, I just didn't want to listen to you gripe me out and yell at me and bitch at me. And he was like, cars can be replaced, Holly. People cannot. And I remember, I will never forget, he looked at me and he goes, Holly Marie, you should know me better than that by now. And I said, I do know you better than that. That's why I was afraid, because I know how mad you get over stuff like this. And he was like, yeah, I'm upset you totaled your car. And by the way, I have seen it and it's totaled. And I'm like, great. Great. just great. Paid for that car myself. Bought that car myself. Paid for everything on it myself. Totaled the bitch. Gah! I was so mad. Oh my god. Oh, I'm crying. Oh, Jesus. And he was like, I want you to get one thing clear. I may get mad over stuff like that, but your life is more important to me than anything in this world. Cars, material objects can be replaced. You and Jennifer, your lives cannot be replaced. And I'm like, okay, Dad, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. And, we went and we went to the hospital. I'm going to see if I can find pictures of my Cavalier accident so I can show you guys while I'm talking. And so, what is on my glasses? Nope. Hold on, I gotta clean my glasses. I can't see nothing on my glasses. Ooh, that's a little bit better. And so, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I was afraid of what he would say. And he ended up yelling at me because he ended up yelling at me because I was afraid that he was going to yell at me for something completely different than what he yelled at me for. And so that's what he ended up yelling at me about. Something completely different. I don't know if I have a picture of the Cavalier on my phone, to be honest with you guys. I don't think I do. I don't think I saved one. I might have to look on my Facebook, which would be really crazy long. One second, guys. So anyways, so we ended up going to the hospital, and we were in the, like, we signed in, and when we signed in, we said we were in a car crash. So automatically, they put us in this neck brace that, like, braces. Like, you're like this, and it, like, holds your neck up, and it's really painful and really ridiculous. And it's really stupid. And, we got called back to triage one at a time, and my friend Jennifer got called in first. I'm still looking for the picture, just so you guys can... Yeah. I'm still looking for the picture, just so you guys can kind of see what I was doing. She got called into triage first, so she went back, and, we... You know, triage, you get your temperature taken and stuff like that, and, excuse me. And she did all of that, and then, came back out, and, you know, a little while later, like 10, 15 minutes later, they called my name, and I went back to triage. And she asked me what brought you in, and I said I was in a car crash. And she goes, the girl right before you was in a car crash. And I said, yeah, Jennifer, we were in the same car. And she goes, who is the driver? I said, me. And she goes, well, you're up walking and talking, so that's a plus. And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. I guess that is a plus. We were walking and talking, and we waited until we went and got all of our stuff out of the car before coming. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a picture of my dad. It's a picture of my daddy. I'll show you a better picture of my dad in just a minute, but, what the hell is that? And so, you know, we got checked out, and You know, it is what it is. We ended up both being okay. We just had to, we got some painkillers because we were sore. Basically, that's all it was. But, so, then, you know, what's funny is I have all of these things running through my head at one time. Like, I have all these stories and all the time that I had with my father, I have running through my head. I can't get it to... He did some really goofy faces. I don't have any good pictures of my dad. I wish I did, but I don't, you know. And, you know, as I told you guys in one of my previous vlogs, I got married 13 days after my father passed away, so, you know, it's not like it wasn't like the best wedding in the world, but it sure as hell wasn't the worst, like, you know. And so, you know, I have all these different, like, I have memories in my head of my dad when I was, oh my god, a little girl, like 5 years old. My dad and my brother Pudge, this is way before my brother's accident. He was in a motorcycle accident. My brother and my dad would pick me up by my hands, and they would throw me. We lived in Connecticut at the time. And they would just, like, throw me into the snow. Now, mind you, the snow was, like, 5 feet deep. So I just went... It was kind of like a sinkhole thing. And then they would come in and grab me up out of it and throw me again. They did that. And, you know, that's one of my better memories. It's one of the best memories I have of my dad was... I don't have any bad memories of my dad. Okay, I just don't. I don't have any bad memories. I have all decent memories. I mean, not all great. You know, we fought. We argued. We did different things. And, you know, there were times that we just fought like cats and dogs. And it's just crazy to me that, you know, I fought so hard with him, but, and there were days, I remember to this day, there are days that I told him, I hate you. Some of the fights we had, I hate you. And I will regret those words for the rest of my life. But what I can say is that the last words I said to my father, the very last words I ever said to him, and the very last words that he ever said to me, I said, I love you, I will see you in the morning. Or I'll see you after work, because I had work in the morning, and he's usually asleep. He was usually asleep when I left for work. I was like, I love you, I'll see you after I get home from work. And he was like, I love you too. So it's hard knowing that I'm still looking for that picture. I want to find a picture of that Cavalier to show you guys. I want you guys to see how bad it was. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for a picture. But it's just... You never know what's going to happen. Okay? You never know. You're not promised tomorrow. Nobody's promised tomorrow. So you need to embrace today. I have a lot of really weird pictures on my Facebook. I'm just saying, I didn't realize I had this many weird pictures. I have a lot of pictures of me and Sean. God, I wish I could find this picture. Wish I could. Oh my gosh. Oh my Lanta. Oh wait. Oh wait, no, that's not it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it. But if I find it for like tomorrow's vlog or something, I will I'll definitely show it. But anyways, so basically what I'm trying to get at is, if you still have your family in your life, or even if you're at odds with your family, you need to, go rebuild the bridges, mend your bridges, because once it's gone, once they're gone, you can't get them back. And I was so thankful that I had my father in my life. Some people don't have that. Some people aren't that lucky. My father actually lost his father when he was 5. No, when he was 3. Yeah, when he was 3. Grandpa Eugene died when he was 3. And, so my father had an abusive stepfather in his life. He didn't have his actual father. And some people aren't that lucky. Like, you know what I mean? They're just, they don't get to have that dad. And I did. And there's a saying out there, and I saw it on Facebook just the other day, and it said, Mama tried to raise a lady, but Daddy won and raised a woman that don't take no crap from anybody. And boy, let me tell you, my mom tried to raise me girly girl. Pfft, fool, I'm no girly girl. I mean, I wear a wedding ring, but that's about as girly as I get. Like, I sometimes do my hair, but as you can see tonight, I'm rocking the weird fro, like, trying to keep it out of my face. And, I got to have my dad. I got to have 20... How old am I? I'll be 25 tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday, by the way. Yay, I'll be 25. Okay, so tomorrow's my 25th birthday, so I had 22 wonderful years with my father. Okay, I'm done looking. You can go away now. Okay. We're just gonna put that down there. So I had a lot of great years with my dad, and it's all bittersweet. I would give anything in this world to hear my father's voice just one more time. I would give anything in this world to hear one of his stupid asinine stories. I would give anything in this world just to have a conversation with him one more. I would give anything in this world to see him smile, to see him laugh. I would give anything in this world just to see my father one more time. And as crazy as that sounds, I would give anything in the world to be able to walk. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I try not to cry over my dad, but sometimes I just can't help it when I'm alone. In the house, you would walk in the house, and when he was alive, there was a computer desk, and that's where he spent his time. That's where he spent day and night. Like, he slept there because it was the only comfortable place he could find. And I would give anything in the world to walk in that house and just see him sitting there at his computer desk and look at me and say, got you. And then he's just been hiding for 2.5 years. I would give anything for just one last word, to know that he's okay, to know that he didn't suffer too much while he passed. Because my father was in so much pain. And he took so many medicines, and he was on oxygen full time, and he was confined to a wheelchair and a scooter. I would give anything to know. I would give anything to know that he was okay. That he didn't suffer, that it was quick. You know, he always said, when he started going downhill, this is kind of a long vlog, I'm really sorry, I'm just kind of ranting different things, and I'm really sorry about that, but, you know, before he died, he always said, you know, my mom and I told him that he had to go back to the hospital for this, that, or another, and my cat's upstairs with my husband. You know, and he got sent back to the hospital so many different times for surgeries or, being sick or something, and he always told me, he looked at me and my mom one day and he said, I don't want to die here. Take me home so I can die at home. And he begged us, take me home. I don't want to die in a hospital. I want to die at home with my family. And, you know, we told him, we can't take you home right now, Dad. We just can't. You have to get better. And he was like, I'm gonna die here. If you don't take me home, I'm gonna die here. Please take me home. And he cried one day. He was like, please just take me home. Sign me out, take me home, and just let me die there. I don't want to die in a hospital. And he kept saying it over and over again, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart to hear my dad, the strongest and bravest man that I ever knew. He was my rock, he was my hero, and to have him grab a hold of my arm and cry and beg me to take him home so he could die at home killed me inside. It absolutely killed me. And I'll never forget that day because I remember him grabbing my arm and the tears streaming down his face. And he looked at me and he was like, Holly, please tell your mom to take me home, please. Tell her to sign me out. Only she can do it. Tell her to take me home. Please tell her to take me home. And I'm like, Dad, you have to get better. You're not going to get better if you go home. And, you know, he got better. That time he got better and he came home, and that was the last hospital stay before he passed away. He got better and he started getting bad again right before he died. Right before the 1st of July, like the end of June, he got bad. And he got like pneumonia or something. And I'm like, Dad, you have to go to the hospital. And he was like, no, I'm not going. And I'm like, Dad, you have to. And he looked at me and he got pissed and he hit his desk because he had his desk and he was like, no, I'm not going to the hospital. If I go there, I'm gonna die there, and I'm not gonna fucking die there. And like, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is getting real. He really thinks he's gonna die. Like, what? And I was like, Dad, you're coughing, you're sick, you need to go get medicine. Obviously what they gave you's not working. And he was like, no, I'm not going. We couldn't force him, like, we couldn't pick him up and force him to go. So he didn't go. And on the 4th of July, my husband and I did a big show down at the end of the driveway. And he was out on the porch, he wheeled himself out on the porch and was watching our show. And he, we finished and we went up and I told him good night. And I got up in the middle of the night to get a drink. And he asked for one, and I, of course I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then the next morning, I went to work, no big deal. And I got a call that said that I needed to come home. And I was at McDonald's, and I was working at McDonald's, and I was a new manager, so I couldn't, I told my mom who called me, I can't just leave in the middle of a rush. And she was like, your father's dead. And I just instantly, my heart stopped beating. And I rushed home, got here in time to see them wheeling him out with this big machine, pumping his chest and stuff. And I broke. How could the strongest, bravest, worst-tempered man that I have ever met in my life, how could my father be like that? On a gurney, not moving, not breathing on his own, not anything. I don't even think his heart was pumping at that point. I think that machine was doing it all for him. And I remember, how could my dad, how could he be like this? It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was getting married in 13 days. He wasn't going to be able to walk me down the aisle, but he was going to wheel me down the aisle, and I was going to hold, I had everything planned. And then he dies. And everything in my plan got wrenched. And my heart got shattered into a million pieces. And it's been 2.5 years, and my heart will never be complete again. I have a full life. I have my husband. I have our daughter. I have my family. But I don't have my dad. And unless you've ever lost a parent, you don't know that feeling. And I hope to God that it takes many, many years for any of you to go through the feeling. But a piece of you dies. And I was a daddy's girl through and through. I was a daddy's girl. Okay. 100% I was spoiled by him. And I'm just like, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to me. It wasn't fair to him. It wasn't fair to my family. It wasn't fair to anybody. Like I said, I try really hard not to cry, but sometimes, and talking about it makes it really hard. So, my point to this is you need to hold everybody you love close. Friends, enemies, families. Hold them close, because you're never, ever guaranteed tomorrow. And, reach out, say hey, say I love you, give them a hug. Stuff like that, because that's the stuff you're going to miss when they're gone. I miss being able to tell my father that I love him every night. I miss taking care of him. I miss wheeling him around in that wheelchair. I miss all of that. And I'll never get it back. So hold everyone you love dear to you. Hold them close. Because you never know when they're not going to be there anymore. I'm really sorry this is such a long vlog. I know it's boring. Long vlogs don't, I'm sorry it's long. I'll try not to do one this long again.